You've got to run. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm having catastrophes with my husband today. How are you? Welcome to the Rich Diva process. Attract high-end soul clients fast with Grace and Diva Fiyah. I'm just going to wait for people to join. Hey, Amber. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses. Welcome. I found this dress in my cupboard. I've never worn it before. It doesn't fit me very well. I'm sitting here with my Ugg boots, but I thought I'd put on some gold because I'm going to talk to you about crystalline, divine money consciousness and the secret around where the gold really lies in your life. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Hey, Renee, Amber, Haley. Hello. I'm on a high today. Hey, everyone. I actually had my daughter sleeping with me all last night. So I've been drinking the coffee. She's been home for 3 days with a cold. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So tell me, you guys, some of you I know what you're doing in your work, what you're teaching, what you really want to claim, how much money you want to make, and what your mission is. What do you stand for? Hey, Paula. Hey, Cara. What do you stand for? I'll tell you that I stand for the financial, social, and political power of all women. Why do I go on about money all the time? Because unless we claim our financial power, our sovereignty, we will not create the radical change that this planet needs. I see far too much suffering on this planet, far too much violence and abuse. And unless we shift our perception around our value, our worth, our relationship with money, our relationship with selling and serving, chances are we're just not going to rise up the way that we really need to right now, right? So today is all about invoking a completely new relationship with sales, marketing, connection, and being online and speaking your truth and drawing in clients, which is basically a little bit of a tip and a secret of how do you really do that? How do you really draw in clients, right? And it's going to come down to something that I call, hey, everyone. Oh, I didn't see all those beautiful, hi, Paula, gorgeous woman. Oh, my earring's falling out. Doesn't matter. The show will keep going on. Hey, everyone. It's really going to come down to the connection of currency, right? So what do I mean by that? It's about really deeply learning how to own your voice, own your power, and connect deeply with your audience, okay? Otherwise, people do not see you and do not hear you. Hey, everyone. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Martina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Haley says, I stand for the divine feminine connection, a safe, sacred connection to live our life purpose. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Bree. Hello. Okay. So just a bit about me for the people who don't know me here. I'm Ingrid Anna, and I'm a leading online strategist. I'm also a high priestess, healer, visionary, teacher, and leader. And I'm also the founder of the Gucci of online business programs. Couldn't get that out. High-end empire. So welcome. We're going to begin. Okay, guys. Hey, everyone. Hey, Emma. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Tanya. Okay, divas. Hey, Therese. Hey, Ariel. Okay, if I don't welcome you in now, it's because I'm just going to start concentrating actually on the content, but you are welcome, and this is a safe and holy space. You never have to feel any shame or any judgment from me around anything that you might be experiencing right now in your business. I've been through it all, so I get what it's like to start a business from scratch with no capital. I had a clothing line actually in New York City years ago, and I lost that company due to fraud. I had a lawyer who was part of my team at the time who stole my corporate kit and wrote out over 60% of stock to himself without my permission. And basically, I had to start my whole business from scratch. I was emotionally, spiritually, and financially kind of impoverished, right? So that taught me a lot of lessons. And so when I came home to Australia, that was in New York City, I came home to Australia, I probably spent about 12 to 18 months in a state of absolute anxiety, right? So I'm just going to turn off my heat. Give me a sec. So constant questions of, can I do this? Will I be able to build again? I felt like a complete loser. I was embarrassed. I had so much shame. And after kind of having those panic attacks for like about 18 months, I had to make a choice and a vow to put it to the side, to learn from it, to forgive myself, to forgive all others, and start again. So at the beginning, I just went from, hustling like $100 sessions, and then I started packaging up my work. I did have a lot of experience previously in advertising. I've pitched TV shows. I've worked in sales in New York City. I've worked, as an ad executive at 28 in New York. So I did have that experience. So I was like, okay, I remember how to do this. I know how to do this. So I packaged up my first high-end offer and started selling $6,000 packages, right? Hey, everyone. Hey, I thought I'd give you some perspective, right? Hey, Louisa. So when I first sold my very first $6,000 offer, that person paid me in full. So I just want you to feel into what that would feel like for you, right? And I really want you to understand something about selling high ticket. High ticket selling is about not putting a massive price on a lame offer. It's about packaging your highest level of work, honoring that client, delivering incredible value so they get a huge return on investment, whether you're a shaman, a healer, a life coach, a business strategist, a hypnotherapist, whatever it is you're doing, and this works for any basically service-based industry online, right? You're delivering such extreme divine value. It's a life-changing experience, right? So first of all, the shift that you have to make is understanding that if you deliver high value like that and you package up something beautiful like that, the amount of money that you're actually charging is actually a fraction of what the offer is actually worth, right? Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? Hey, Louisa. Hey, Bev. Laura Lee says, I stand to help mums who feel they've lost themselves, find their power again, be confident, and love themselves in and out. Great. I love it. And Laura Lee, what is the outcome of that too? So finding your power again, you might want to explain that. Is it getting their career back? Is it going to improve their relationships? What I see a lot of people in the marketplace, and this is one of the mistakes that so many people make, and I don't mean that in a shaming way, is we don't clearly articulate what it is we really do. So whenever you're selling and whenever you're trying to reach a new audience and really draw people in to work with you, you've got to clearly articulate what it is you do and what you stand for. Hey, Michelle, right? So you always want to make sure that when you make a statement like that, it has a very, very clear benefit statement. I'll see a lot of women talk about self-love. Well, what is self-love really going to do for me? If you're talking about sexual empowerment, well, how is that really going to help me spiritually, emotionally, energetically, financially? So you need to really make what you do and the outcome of what you're selling very, very clear, right? Who's hearing me here? Yes, so true. Okay, so I'm going to start with this sort of first step here. Just give me 1 second and I'm going to give you sort of little notes and we're going to go through all of this together. I'll put it here in the chat. Okay. Later on, if you want this, I'll just shut off that other thing. I hope I don't shut myself down, my other Facebook thing with all the notifications. Okay, so can everybody see this? So the first step I want to really talk about today is conjuring and embodying your rich diva frequency. So this is all about really, really tapping into your divine femme, holy diva power. And I'm closing my eyes because I'm going right to my sacral area in my womb. And I'm really, really feeling into that feeling of potency, of life force, of riches, of sensuality and pleasure. So it's very, very difficult to begin manifesting more riches and abundance when you don't feel rich, when you don't really honor the truth of who you are, when you don't really tap it, when you're not tapping into the potency and the yumminess of everything that you have, right? It's very difficult to draw in more abundance because there's usually a false premise that I see so many women suffer from, that is, I am not enough. And if you never work with me, if you never ever do anything else within this group and within my work, I really want you to understand something that is so vital and important. Right in this moment, you guys, you can make a holy, sacred, and divine vow to decide to break free from and liberate yourself from that suffering and that question of, am I enough? The am I enough question is a putrefaction of your soul. It will poison not only your business and your ability to grow your empire, right, but your entire life. It's going to greatly diminish your ability to receive love, intimacy, joy, abundance on every level in every single way, right? So who here is ready to stop questioning? Hey, Lana, stop questioning that. From now on, I am enough. I now vow in this moment to claim my divinity and to see that I am the holy divine riches, right? You don't attract riches externally until you begin to embody it from within, because then you become a vibrational match from the inside out. People think when I make more money, then I will feel rich. When I get another 3 clients, then I will feel good about myself, because that's going to validate myself. But we want to start by validating and honoring and holding ourselves sacred in this moment. So whether you're bankrupt or you've already got a business that's at $500,000 or $1 million, whatever's going on with you financially, money doesn't give you value. Right? Money does not give you value. So stop expecting it to. Can I get an amen, sister, on this? Right? Oh, money will never give you value. I really want you to hear this, everybody. Are you hearing me? Give me a yes, yes, yes. Your clients will never give you value. External accolade actually will never give you value. We need to start holding ourselves sacred, right? I'm just breathing deep with this today. And deeply feeling into the power and the beauty and the limitlessness that exists within all divine femme women. Okay. Yes, Tammy, thank you. Who's getting this, right? So I can tell you, and I'm really going to try hard not to swear in this today, not that I mind swearing, but just if I ever want to use this later on any social media. And by the way, Facebook is cracking down on so much stuff, so be very mindful about what you're sharing. Hi, Maria. So before I go selling any high ticket programs, getting on a webinar, doing anything like that, getting on sales calls, when I am lit up and full, when I am feeling really good about who I am, and I give myself permission to clearly articulate my work and what I do, there is a clear channel. There's a clear connection, thank you, Vicky, between myself and my audience, or myself and a potential client, right? So I'm kind of going to go off road a little bit here. I've got all these steps, but really, guys, I just want to mention this as well. Really importantly, if you want to sell also, if you want to be able to sell, and if you do not learn how to sell and shift your perception to selling and start seeing it as a sacred act where you're giving a lot more than what you're getting, and that it is actually a disservice not to sell, because then your client or your potential client is sitting there in suffering, right? You will never, ever rise into leadership, right? And if you're here right now listening to me, you are born to be a leader. You will remain in spiritual, emotional, and financial suffering, right? Is everyone hearing me? Right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You must shift your relationship with money, and in doing so yourself, and in doing so your ability to help others, and then in your ability to own your voice and own your work and what you do without apology, right? So I'm going to go back a little bit to the questions that I had here. So you want to focus on the feeling of your empire. You want to release the pain and shame to rise into riches. You deserve to make money. You deserve to have abundance. You deserve to be nourished. You deserve and have all full inherent right to claim and call money, divine clients in. Now, I have over 200 students, and some of those are private clients. Some of those are in my high-end Empire Rich Diva program. There's about 120 there, and then the rest are sort of in my Diva Mind and whatnot, and some private, right? Now, this is not a fluke. One part of it, yes, is strategy and marketing and systems and the way that I've set up the organizations and the structures around my offers, right? The other part of it is that I'm incredibly clear, and I've absolutely failed in this department so many times, but I've become incredibly clear, which is an act of self-love around who I serve and who I don't, with a major focus on who I serve and how it's going to feel. So I want to ask you now, to start to begin to tap into the vibration of the woman and the energy and how it will feel for you to have your own 100, 200, 300 thousands of students and clients. If we're just going to focus on, say, the feeling of what it would be like to have 5 high-end, beautiful soul sister clients, how does that feel, right? What would that feel like to you to have 5 clients pay you high-end? And I'm talking of offers around $5,000 and above, even 3,000. Awesome. But forget about the money. Just how does it feel? Who is she? So I know without a shadow of a doubt that my clients, the ones that I really want to work with, feel like soul sisters to me. It's almost like a sacred contract that we have together, right? It feels juicy. It feels rich. It feels respectful. It feels loving. My ideal clients do the work, show up for themselves, they process the information, and they implement the information. Now, everyone moves at a different pace. I understand that. But at the same time, there's this level of, I am doing this, right? They've said a heck yes to investing in themselves, and that's not where it ends. It's like a heck yes in doing the work that's needed in order to have a co-creation. So it feels juicy. It feels loving. I can't wait to get on the calls with those clients, right? And that is a deliberate call. So whenever you want to manifest deeply, you want to feel into the future reality of that which you want to receive. When you do that, it ends the old, it ends the pain from the past, right? Because otherwise what we tend to do is regurgitate and put on, like, you know, that record where it keeps playing and playing and playing, and we start to attract all the things that we don't want. If you want to start to attract the relationships, the intimacy, the abundance, the financial flow that you do want every single day, and I do this every single day, I'm constantly in prayer. I'm constantly tuning into the vibration of the next level. Does everyone hear what I'm saying? So for example, when I went to sell out my offers in New York City, I did a high-end offer for a 3-day immersion retreat. I also did a 1-day event as well. I started to visualize and feel into the experience. I saw these women having incredible breakthroughs. I saw the connection. I saw the hugs and the tears and this beautiful sacred experience. I saw them giving me incredible feedback, going, oh my God, and being so happy about spending the money and the outcome that they received. And then I'll ask the creator and the divine to lead me and guide me to the people that I most need to reach out to. Is everyone feeling into this? Okay, great. So it's almost like you're energetically, on an energetic emotional level, you're creating the reality, right, in energetic form, and then physically it will begin to show up for you as long as you stay with the vibration and then act in the way that will bring that in. So there's always the action as well. It's not just feeling. So then it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to bring them forward, right? So the next part of this is really going to be then to get really, really, really clear about how to articulate your work and own the work you do without apology, right? So I just wanted, before I go into that, want to break down a little bit of a money thing here around People don't seem to get this, I think. I think a lot of women, sometimes we don't really put on that kind of strategic hat enough because there's too much of that suffering going on. So I did a free class the other day with a group of people, and I was saying, you know, the only question you really should be asking, especially someone like me and also yourself, is, well, I want to make another 100 grand, or I want to make another 200 grand. I want to hit $500,000 in the next, whatever it is, 5 or 6 months. If we stop worrying about, am I good enough? And we actually just start focusing on, okay, who am I serving? What is the offer? What is the price point? And then what is the strategy and the steps that I need to implement in order to make that a reality? Who's feeling me here? Because I know what it was like when I was in that kind of real anxiety and struggle, thinking, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this again? Am I really good enough? What will my parents think? What will my friends think? All that kind of stuff. There was and then when I was also playing caretaker to everybody kind of in my life, my family, trying to make it all juicy and loving for everybody else, totally taking care of my mother, my sister, my friends, giving. There was no time for me to build my empire. Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? So the focus, like there's only so many hours in the day. Where's your focus, right? So you may, if you really want to rock your empire online, there may be certain behaviors and people that you even distance yourself from until you build up enough resolve to not be diluting your energy, playing caretaker to the entire planet. Which, by the way, I was just speaking to a client of mine last night too, who sold quite a lot of high-end spots, right? So she sold, what did she sell? 11 spots in her 1-year immersion, which, was quite a big financial windfall for her. And she said, keeps saying, I feel tired. And I said, okay, well, I've learned a lot about this. And so let me share. When you are really drained by working with a lot of people, there's usually a belief within you that in some way you're responsible for them. And so as a soul empath, we carry on the energy, and we carry the energy and carry on and carrying on the energy of other people's vibration, right? And it's this kind of like victim martyr, I need to carry it, ego, and also misconception around how to actually really, really deeply serve without it being a sense of sacrifice or, servitude, right? So you need to be very, very clear about what you do, what you don't do, and where your boundaries are. And I have actually come to learn that as I've liberated myself from carrying and really seen myself as a leader who invites people to rise up and stand up into their own power, we end codependency and we end that energetic drain, because therefore you've actually released any of that kind of holding on, dragging down feeling that you will get if you allow other people's frequencies, distortions, suffering, triggering to become part of your frequency. So every day I'm doing clearings, but I've actually made these really conscious shifts to be a witness to life, to teach, to give fully, to honor my word, and then I allow each person the space to make their own choice about whether they decide to rise up or not. And that has nothing to do with me and my work. It is their choice. It is their soul path. Is everyone hearing what I'm saying here? I hope so. Thank you, Michelle. It's helped me so much, because otherwise we go into the adrenal fatigue. I literally couldn't manage all the students and clients I have now. I really couldn't do it. I'd probably be an emotional wreck in the fetal position hearing me. So it's a real different perception shift around, well, what is a leader? And it's the whole thing around being that good girl. We're told, we're fed the myth that in order to receive love, in order to be worthy, we have to sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. Even when I started to sell high end, I'd get these, bigger amounts of money and things like that, whatever it was, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, whatever it was. And I would overgive and overgive and overgive to validate my worth, right? Because on some level, I still felt ashamed, right? There was still some level of self-abuse around the way that I deliver my work, right? Does everyone hear what I'm saying? So please don't do that when you start selling high end. Don't pack up your offers. Victoria's saying total adrenal fatigue. Been there. I used to take, T3, T4, and also with a lot of adrenal issues. Obviously, as all of you guys know, there's a lot of healers here, a lot of people who suffer from adrenal fatigue. For me, it was a lot of fight flight kind of response where I really hadn't fully released the trauma from my childhood, right? So you keep operating in that way of push, running. It's almost like you're running away from it without really processing the emotion, learning from it, and then really deeply coming back into that relaxed response, right? Most people don't even know they're in a state of chronic fight flight. I think it's something like 80% of Americans suffer from some form of chronic fatigue, right? It's an epidemic. I couldn't take the drain. Boundaries aren't just about other people. Yeah. So with boundaries, I just want to really clearly articulate this. You cannot expect someone to get a boundary. You train people on how to treat you both energetically. Often I find that when I raise the level amp up the level on my own self-worth and my own love, I don't really need to verbally articulate my boundaries, because I'm not a vibrational match for anyone kind of hanging on me or doing anything that isn't respectful, because I've actually set that as an energetic vow within myself, right? However, with love, I've learned to clearly articulate my boundaries. I think there was probably a period of time where I'd just give, and then I'd get frustrated and feel so overwhelmed and upset and hurt that someone didn't really understand. But that's because I wasn't clearly articulating it, but also on a vibrational level, I was actually perpetuating that cycle because I actually really wasn't clear in myself, and I really wasn't honoring myself. When we don't honor ourselves, then people will reflect back where we're not honoring ourselves. Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? Right? Oh, that's a big one, right? And we're not taught this. We're really not taught this. Yes, Joe Dispenza, great book, awesome. So I've gone through a lot of physical suffering in my life, through the emotional suffering. I've had chronic eating disorders. I've had a benign tumor in my uterus, which I almost died from, 4 surgeries there. So I understand suffering, right? I know what it's like to suffer from abuse and all that kind of stuff. So through that journey, I wrote a book years ago called Body Love Diet. Diet stands for Daily Intuitive Energy Transformation. So I've learned how to transmute darkness and turn it into light. I've learned how to deeply shift my body, my health, my relationships, my money stuff through transmuting and using the vibration of my energy and my intent to cultivate a whole new frequency, and then in turn a whole new external reality. Okay. So one of the most beautiful things that I also do is whenever I'm in a bath or a shower, is I allow the water to wash off and cleanse me. And I just imagine every single cell in my being literally changing shape and shifting. And I imagine every single cell in my body beaming with pink vibrational loving light with a little smiley face on it. So I sort of see it pulsing, and any darkness and any trauma and any rage and any grief leaving my body down through my legs, into my toes, and into the soil. And you can do a ritual like that every single day. Okay, guys. One other thing before I go into more strategy here is to never ever feel that you are broken. You just need to remember who you are. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. You just need to remember who you are. So always say, I am healed and I am whole. I am rich. I am the holy divine, and chant it every single day, right? When I was broke and struggling, I would just say, I am rich. I am rich. I am rich. I'm the holy divine. I am now attracting divine and sacred, holy, gorgeous clients with ease, love, and grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. And whenever I'd feel fear rise up or a doubt come up, I would come back to it. I would come back to it, and I will come back to it until it literally becomes it becomes part of the very fiber of your being, right? That's just how you live. Okay. So I just want you to remember this. I just put this in the comments. I've just put a post here. So a 10K month is just 2 5K packages or 4 by 2.5K packages a month. A 200K a year is, I say, a $5,000 program with 40 units, or a $1 million could be a $6,000 program by 166 units, or say a 10K program by 100 sales. That's it, right? So obviously, you need to learn how to market, speak up, connect with your audience, get on video, stand in your power. If you don't stand in your power and own your work without apology, right? No one is going to see you or hear you or know that you exist. So who here is going to make a divine and holy vow? Can you put that in the chat? Yeah, I just did, darling. I can do it again. I'll put all of this up, this whole document that I've written. I'm going to put that up in the group after this, okay? So you'll have all of that. But that's something really, it's a really great vision. Yeah, and we do throat chakra work and lots of healing work in our programs as well, by the way. Just because the strategy is not enough and the healing work is not enough on its own, you need both. So there is that financial breakdown there for you, but it will be in my group for you too, or just email or message Ruthie and she'll get it for you, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to write down this step here. Okay. So I just said, own the work you do without apology, establish what you do and who you serve, and state it simply and succinctly. So you really want to define your expert label. So what is it that you do and how can you help someone? That's all they want. All they're thinking when they see you, by the way, on video is, who are you? Do I trust you? Do I like you? And what can you do for me? And and that's not in a selfish way, that's people want to buy. People are looking for the support. Someone right now is crying out, praying to find a woman exactly like you and what you offer. But if they don't know that you offer it and that you exist, how are you going to help them? Right? So I think women are shut down so much usually, and there's no shame in that. We've been shut down. We've been told not to speak up. Don't be too loud. Don't know. Who do you think you are to be confident and articulate your work, right? So I'm saying to turn up the volume on that and say effort to that, because honestly, guys, you need to own your voice and clearly articulate what it is you do, right? Example, I help women own their holy diva power and make more money than I ever had with grace and without running themselves into the ground so that they can actually have a life. Hello, amen, boom. Are you clear about what I do? And I do that by combining advanced strategy, divine healing practices, and the sisterhood that we provide for unparalleled support so that you can rise into a whole new financial sovereignty dimension, something like that. That's what I do, right? I've said it very succinctly. Yes, all in Maria says. And I haven't waffled on. It's just, that's what we do, right? We teach ads and marketing and sales and positioning and pricing and packaging, all of that. So that's the modules, but the core outcome is that we basically just help you make more money, right? Rock empires online. So you need to be able to come up with the same thing. What do you do and how can you help your audience, and who is it that you're speaking to and what does she want? So I often tell a lot of stories in my work, right? Story is a really powerful way to reach your audience on an emotional level, right? It brings in intimacy. If you want to be a leader and a powerful, powerful teacher, sorry, someone just opened the door there. Oh, Aria, my daughter's here with me. Where is your daddy? You want to come and say hello? Aria's been sick for 5 days. Can you go get him? You want to see my friends?
Yeah.
Say hi.
I can't see.
They're all there. That's them there. You just can't see them on video. Just say hi. Okay.
Why can't I see it?
Anyway, I'm going to keep going, okay?
Why aren't they talking?
They're listening to me because I'm teaching something and sharing something from my heart. You know that I like to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you go and get your daddy? Daddy. This is life. I'm sitting here in my Ugg boots and I got this dress out of my thing. It's actually way too big for me, but anyway, it's working. This is my life. Hilarious. Okay. So what was I saying? I can't even remember. She is your twin with blonde hair, huh? Funny, funny, funny. And today actually is 11 years to this day that I've known my husband on Facebook anyway.
We've known each other a little bit longer.
In 11 years.
We didn't just start out on Facebook.
It's only, yeah. Bye, darling.
Bye.
Okay, so story. I was talking about story. So story is a really, really powerful way for you to connect emotionally with your audience. We have a lot of stories. I could tell you a million stories and bore you to death. So what you want to do is really tell stories that articulate and clearly connect with your audience. And how do you know what that is, right? Well, what is it that your client is, your ideal client, what she's struggling with, what is she praying for? And then you tell a story that relates to that, right? So, you know, if I was selling a program on falling back in love with your body, like a body love program, I would talk about what it felt like to really always be picking on myself and analyzing every part of my body, that it felt like I was literally like dying. I was in so much trauma. And then I would probably go into something like a teaching as well. You always want to bring some sort of teaching in. So what I've learned from body dysmorphia, chronic eating disorders, pill popping, all the things that I did for years, was that really it was a soul crisis, right? It's a soul crisis that shows up in whether it's overworking, addiction, pushing, the suffering, the overgiving. So I had all of that, plus I was incredibly abusive with myself. So really that for me and that learning, and it actually does relate to how my business as well and all the suffering that went on there for so long, was that without realizing it, I was kind of like punishing myself. I was like, I felt like bad that I didn't really deserve to rise up, right? Because of the abuse that happened in my past. So rather than, hello, Haley, rather than dealing with it and processing it, I actually internalized it and then like turned on myself, rather than really dealing with that emotion and the grief and the rage and letting it go and learning from it and healing. I was kind of in this state of kind of chaos and panic, right? And it's actually been there for me most of my life. You know, I'm in my 40s now, and it's only really been probably the last 5 or 6 years, and I'm always growing. I'm always doing more deeper level of work on my ascension. But that was always there. And I was always, it really, really was what really brought me down, not only financially, but very much energetically. I think I've suffered with my health most of my life. I used to get sick all the time as well, like carrying a lot of space for people, holding space for people. Look what I said, carrying, that's what I was doing. And I don't do that anymore. And I have incredible health. Amen, amen, amen. Okay, I'm going to keep going now. So, okay, step 3 is you need to craft your bomb.com offer the dream clients just can't say no to. So I'm going to put this here. Hi, Robin. Hey, Kelly. Okay. Love you, goddess, too. Okay. Today we met 4 years ago. Yes. When are you coming to work with me, Aurelia, so you can make a lot more money? Sharing your potency. Okay. So the other thing I really want to mention about money and making money online, what we do and the work that we do is not a get rich quick scheme, but a lot of our students start making, you know, selling high ticket really quickly, right? Sometimes in a matter of days, sometimes in a matter of weeks, sometimes just very quickly, right? And what is that about? It's about strategy, being held, deep support, and coming into a vortex that's really like, okay, we're all there backing you. You can absolutely do it. It's a whole perspective, perception shift. And that is available to anybody, right? I don't know. I feel like as I get older, my dad's really sick. Some of you know, like he's in palliative care right now. I don't have time to waste. So the energy that I have, this fast-paced energy, is a fast vibration, isn't about push, 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 kind of forced energy. It's about, I am here to serve. I'm so done with holding myself back that it's like a clear, okay, this is what I want. This is where we're going. And it's this clear energy. And so when people come to me all scattered and all over the place, it's like, okay, but no, this is what we're doing. What do you want to achieve? Where are we going? This is step 1. This is step 2. This is step 3. And so what happens is you have a speeding up type of energy that happens, because there's actually not that many things that you really need to do to start making more money. You don't need to actually even run ads and traffic and all of that. Usually most people are sitting on a gold mine and they don't even realize it. There's at least about, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand or more, depending on how big your audience is. And I'm not talking about your list. I'm even just talking about your social media audience. Is just sitting there for you. We have people selling high-end offers with literally a Google Doc to clients they've worked with before as well. So it's like people that you've already had relationships with, going back to them and offering them an incredible offer. You could all go and do that today, by the way. So I'm just going to put that back up again. I just talked about step 3, which is crafting a bomb.com offer. I can't say that. The dream clients just can't say no to. So you really need to understand what is the problem that you solve. So the way to really craft an offer is to look at the problem and then look at the solution and decide, okay, well, what is the process that I want to take this person on, right? What's the journey? Is everyone hearing what I'm saying? So that's how I create my content. It's like, okay, if someone is here struggling, say in mama karma drama, family drama, and they keep sabotaging themselves, what is the process? The process might start with deep emotional clearing or rewiring, stage 1. What's the next process and onwards, right? And then you craft your offer. You could always start just with one high-end one-on-one, and the way that you want to really segue into is probably group high-end, because I love it, because you can then work with many, many, many people and really scale your business, right? So you go from a high-end ticket private offers to then your group high-end. Okay. So I'm just going to give you an example that I've written here. So these are some examples of about one specific solution you provide your ideal client, which some of you were mentioning before, which sounded great. Okay. I help clients get what they want with rapid speed and love. I guide clients into wealth. I support visionary leaders to welcome in the divine femme to heal their marriage. This is another example. Heal their marriage and rise up to claim a deeper level of success in the bedroom and the boardroom. I guide clients on their soul path so they can live from passionate intention with radiance, ease, and abundance. So see how clear they are? So when you're really clear about what problem you solve, you can begin to craft that offer, right? When you're crafting an offer for someone, you want to make sure that there's no spelling mistakes, that it's really clear. What is your pay in full price? What is your payment plan? Get that really clearly outlined. You want to add in probably a few case studies, a few testimonials. And remember, you're always selling the outcome, not the modules, right? The outcome. When you're working one-on-one with a client, you don't really need modules anyway. It's usually a bespoke process or strategy that you're taking them through. So you don't really need modules. Modules are really more for, unless you want to give them some digital supportive content, modules are really for your bigger group high-end programs. Okay. Is everyone still with me here? Okay. Should you advertise your pricing? Haley says. I don't advertise our pricing. I mean, I'm happy to share if someone asks me, like if you guys ask me our prices right now, I give them to you. So if someone asks me, I'll just give it to them. I also send documents with my offers clearly outlined with pricing, but on my websites, I don't have pricing. I think I might have had it for a few very high ticket offers because we don't really need to sell them. If people want to buy from us, great. And if they like shy away because it's too expensive, then they're really not a fit for us. The only reason we don't share pricing all the time is because we really want to take people through what it is we do and the value of the offer and the deep level of what we're doing before we go discuss saying, you know, it's $7,000, it's $10,000, it's $20,000. So I don't really love putting them on the site, but if someone messages me, I just tell them. If someone asks me right now, I just tell people. So I'll tell you, I have, I would love to look at the prices, about to book a free consult. So yeah, so we have, we just have our straight digital, which is $2,500, or you can buy it for $250 a month. But we're not doing just digital anymore, but you can still buy it. We now have a $397 So it's $397 US a month by 12 payments, or you can pay in full and get a bonus private session, I think it is. So I can show you how we outline all of that. And that is our lower tier. It's called Rich Diva, but it's not, it's digital. It's like the full curriculum, like I said, MBA in business with all the healing modules as well. And then on top of that, we're doing, it's pretty out there, we've just created this, we're doing 4 live group coaching calls, and you get access to a group for 6 months. You get 4 live 1-hour group coaching calls. So that's for $397 a month. So I'm in a position now in my business, because of where I'm at with the income that I make from my other higher ticket products, that I can do this. So I've employed 2 other really great coaches. One of them is here today, who you've probably met, Ruthie. And so I have Ruthie and Lisa, and they deliver that content in that group. And I pop in there here and there, but they deliver the bulk of it. Plus everybody gets like the full 12 module curriculum, right? Plus the 6 months. Then we have my mid-tier, which is $10,000 for 3 months in my Diva Mind with direct access to me, about 3 hours of private coaching and healing, 2 weekly strategy calls delivered by me, my husband, and my team. So they're 2 hours of like deep funnel copy, messaging, positioning. We go through everyone's stuff. It's intensive. And then weekly divine healing calls, kinesiology, high priestess healing every single week. It's $10K. And then my top tier is $20K for 6 months with about 6 or 7 hours of private work and all this other stuff. So that's how we scale. We've got our business scales. Does that make sense? Hey, everyone. Hey, best decision I ever made. And Jaya Lee says that too. I second that. Thank you, guys. Jaya Lee and Haley are in my higher ticket offers in Empress or the Diva Mind. Diva, by the way, if you don't know me, standing for divinity, honoring the divine in you. And they both are doing incredibly well, which I'm so happy to say that they are. And I think with the whole process of ascension and up-leveling in life and business, people, you know, move at the pace that they kind of need to. You know, you can go really quickly. You can start selling high ticket tomorrow. You can make another 10K, 20K tomorrow if that's the energy and the frequency you can hold. But don't feel bad if you can't, right? Because some people just need to process a lot more stuff, and there's old residual deep wounding. It's a big shift for them. Some people get really triggered by me, which I find a little bit funny because I'm actually pretty loving. But I really do take a stand for people, and that is that I feel into where and their potential, and I want to stay sense. And I think that fierceness, you know, I love the word fierce, actually. It's a beautiful word. But for me, my boldness and my directness and my energy, I use my energy to catalyze change really quite rapidly. So when I'm really sometimes intense and full on, it's because I want the person to have a pattern shift. Does that make sense? And that's what I take a stand for. And if people don't like it, that's okay. I'm not trying to convince people to like me. It's not my concern. My concern is creating the change, right? And the people that really do gel with me don't have a problem with it. They actually say, Ingrid, call it as it is because I want to shift, right? Are people hearing me here? Like, it's like they actually want me to be who I am, and your audience wants you to uniquely be who you are. So one thing that you need to break up with if you really want to start attracting lots more clients is this also feeling of holding back, and that you're too much or that, you know, what are people going to say, and all of that kind of stuff needs to be put to the side. And when I show up, even now, like I've barely had any sleep. My daughter's sick, you know, she's in bed with me all last night. You know, I've just got to keep going and I've just got to stay present, right? So it's really about when you're getting on video, and guys, you should be on video. You need to launch your own media company, right? When you're in an online business, you need a media company, right? You are the star of the show and you're calling people in. You need to own your voice. You need to own your resonance. So often when you go to a person's video, and even if it's got a really great, powerful hook title, it's really engaging, right? You might notice that you just keep scrolling. And the reason that usually happens is that person has so much internal stuff going on, and it creates that disconnection from the audience, right? So there's no shame in that. We all have lots of things going on, but what I'm just inviting you to do is to start practicing putting that to the side. You can pick up that stuff and real life stuff later, but when you come to deliver your message online, you come in full presence, right? You come in your full divinity. And that's when you begin to have a complete divine connection. So unless you understand how to really connect with your audience on a heart level, you will never get the clients and the cash. Does that make sense? So it's a big part of what we teach. Yes, to media company. I held back a lot, no more. Yes, that's beautiful to see. Okay. So the holding back is actually a disservice. So many women think it's in ego, like I'll just hold back because we're taught to do that socially. But I say stuff that for a bad joke. It just keeps us impoverished, right? And it actually stops us from serving, right? So I can sure as shiz tell you that there are so many people, thousands of people. I've got like 100,000 views on my videos and things like that. Whether someone ever buys from me or not, it doesn't matter. If I can create a change through owning my message and my voice, then that is just huge. It's all that goodwill. It's all that energy that you're putting out into the planet, right? Okay, so the other thing is, as you'll know, when you own your voice, you become an activator, right? You become an activator. And most people, you've got to understand human psychology. Most people are petrified of change, right? Most people will never change their lives, in fact. That's a sad thing. Most people die with the music inside of them. Most people die in suffering. And so in order for me to call people into action to move past the resistance and the hesitation and the contortion and the chronic fear, I will speak up. I will take a stand. I will use my energy and frequency and voice and message to illuminate, to shed a light on another way. And I'm not going to do that by being a mouse, and neither are you. Can I get an amen, sister? So speak up. So I've got this all written down here, guys. If your silence will make you broke, right? Your silence will make you broke. So you need to launch a media company, make some noise, speak up, and this speaking plus strategy equals more clients. So here we go. I'm just going to put this up, and don't worry, I'm going to put this up later in the group as well. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, guys. So is there any questions you'd like me to answer? You guys should be getting on video every single day. You should be clearly articulating what you do. You should be giving great value, give away some of your best work for free, but charge without overgiving. But you need to teach. You need to start taking your trauma and you need to use it in your teachings so that you establish deep trust with your audience, right? Later on, then you can go into building funnels and things like that and driving traffic. We get really good opt-in rate from our funnels. Why is that? Branding, the messaging, the copy. You need to learn to become a very skillful copywriter. You need to learn how to engage and, as I said before, connect. I'm just going to see if there's some questions down here. What do you mean by a media company? Okay. So really, you need to start creating video that goes viral. So when I do a video, like this is me, like I'm doing a video. This video I can now put on my personal page, my business page. It can go into, I can invite people from my list and to come to watch this. I can make it into an ad that leads to an opt-in that leads to a chat to get on my team. I need to speak to my team to get on my team. It's also to get on my team. Because we're all in a team together. But you know, it's like taking content. You need to become a content creator. Your content is going to be like your liquid gold, right? Content and your self-esteem is where the gold bullion is. Your message is the gold. But then having a message and not having it out there. So does everyone understand now what I mean by having a media company? Video, and then spreading that video all over the place. Yeah? How do you make it go viral? I think viral, I mean, for me, I wouldn't say I've really done any massive viral video. I watched a video of a woman putting on Spanx last night that was hilarious. It has 4 million views. There's all that kind of stuff. A funnel is just my video. So for example, when I get 100,000 views, it's usually because I've made it into an ad. If you have a live streams are usually pretty cheap to convert into ads. You can even do ads without any opt-in. So you build up then your warm audience. So I could have an ad, it doesn't have any opt-in, any call to action, because otherwise you're paying for that click through. But if people don't know who you are, you usually do not want to invite someone to get on a call with you that's from a cold audience. So an audience that is cold is an audience that's never heard from you before. So you want to give them lots of videos and content first before you invite them to get on a call. Does that make sense? Because it's like then asking someone to marry you before you've even started dating. So a funnel, someone just asked, Majasana, I think, is what is a funnel? A funnel is just basically a way for you to draw people in from Facebook. So for example, so at the moment there's like, what is it? 2.1 billion active users on Facebook every single month. So if you're not making money online, it's because you don't have your messaging on point, you don't have a funnel, no one knows you exist, and you're hiding, right? So if you've got 2.1 billion active users on Facebook, you want to target those people who are your core audience to come into something like a free offer. So a free offer might be a 3-part video series. It might be a PDF, a template, a download, a guidebook that you basically target those people to come into that relates to your core work, right? So there probably would be at least 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people that are your core market. And so what you're basically doing is putting up an ad or a video that takes those core people. So about, say, you might even start with an audience of like 5,000 people, 10,000 people that you're going to target, and you're bringing them into, say, like a free mini course. And that's the beginning of your funnel. They get to know you. You give them, say, a 3-part video series. I have an 8-part video series that they get. And then you may, after those 8 videos or during that sort of sequence, begin to invite them to get on calls with you, or take them to a webinar, or give them some sort of action, or sell them a product. Does that make sense? So a funnel really is like a sales process. I'm not always comfortable to post videos on friends' platforms. So you wouldn't post your video on a friend's platform because that's kind of like hijacking their audience, but you can post a video on your platform, on your personal platform. Do you need to do a call to action in every video or Facebook Live? This was a question that was asked of me just recently. Good question, very good question. I do a lot of CTAs because I feel like you need to tell people what to do. Sometimes I like to warm up the audience and I don't put any CTA, but mostly I'm like either sending them to a free offer, like a free opt-in, my 3-part video series or my 8-part video series, or getting on a call, depending on where they are in my funnel process and how well these people know me. Far too many women do incredible videos, write incredible posts, and I'm like, where is the call to action, right? Where is the invitation? You need to tell people what to do. They're sitting there, they're reading an incredible post, they're watching an incredible video, and what's the next step? Tell them what the next step is, right? So my answer to that is do it at least 90% of the time. Put a CTA in, right? I have a private group. Should I be funneling them into that and do most of my live and content in the group, but still drive them from my personal page with content also? Yeah, you can do your personal page and invite them to join your group. You can maybe offer some like a really juicy meditation or a free class like I'm doing today to drive more people to come into that group. I try to do a lot more content into my group because they're the people that really do want to hear from me. Someone says, Martina, thank you, Ingrid. What would those from Gaz Freedom do with the bomb.com offer? Well, your bomb.com offer, I mean, so the Gaz is multi-level marketing. I have a few clients that are in that business and they are now creating their own programs and their own offerings using the systems that I teach to create their own webinars, both for coaching products, but also to come into the Gaz funnel. So not using the Gaz complete platform as their own, like they're creating their own webinars to really explain how GAS and that process of that business has changed their lives, if that makes sense. So you could later on, though, go into coaching as well, Martina, coaching, healing work. You could run retreats, whatever it is, you can absolutely do that as well in alignment with that multi-level marketing business. You just need to discern when is the right time so that you don't split too much focus. So a lot of the women that do both, who are in multi-level and also doing retreats and coaching and leadership programs and things like that, are already probably at 30, 40, 50K a month. I do have one client who's newer to GAS actually, and she's just set up her own group and she's using all the messaging and the marketing tools that I teach and owning her voice and getting really kind of a lot more up on the branding and the messaging and owning her power and her voice to drive more traffic and more people to become part of her community, to join them and enroll them into GAS. Absolutely. For those of you who don't know what GAS is, it's a multi-level marketing, amazing water company. And I've done a few talks for them. So guys, what else am I going to share here? So increasing ROI in your business really comes down to strategy, SaaS, and soul alignment. When our clients sell out their offers, it's not a fluke, but really a proven process that we've created. So if you feel called to really do this work and really ramp up your revenue and really make an impact, we have worked tirelessly to create a very deep training. So our work isn't like a skeleton outline of this is what an opt-in is, this is what a funnel is. It's literally full on, like 2 hours, sometimes up to 4 hour different video content per module, templates, swipe files. We have swipe files for all your offers. We have swipe files for VIP 2-day intensives worth $7,000, the pricing, the different marketing angles you can go for. You literally can take my whole private retreat stuff and then tweak it and shift it and change it and get it ready for you to sell. So if you feel called at all, I'm inviting you to get on a call, speak to my team. We don't do hardcore sales. We do one thing, which is we have prices and we offer you a price. And then if you don't want to take it within 24 hours, the price goes up because we price it lower at the beginning to really try to encourage people to move, but we're not attached to whether you buy or not. So if you get on a call, you're going to have a beautiful heart-to-heart with one of my divas. They've all done my program. They're all selling from my program, as in they're all coaches and healers and mystics themselves, and they're all implementing and using it. So they actually do know, because I didn't have a sales team before, I did it myself. So now I have 6 women there, and every single one of them, except one of them, has done my program. I was currently in my program. So they're going to show you what's out of alignment, what you need to do to start making more money, and then they will go through the program with you if you want to hear about it, and then you can decide whether it's for you or not, right? We don't follow up with people. Like if they say no to us, like we're not going to harp on or kind of track you down or anything. We just leave it be. Vanessa says she has brought in $17,000 in 6 weeks, and that was from, and that's amazing, Vanessa. Vanessa is a really beautiful example of a woman who has just, I mean, she did have one week where it was really like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. That's part of the journey. That's a part of the shedding where that comes up. And she just rocked it, and she just implemented. She did what I say. I've got students coming into my Empress level selling 42 spots in 6 weeks. She's actually, her name is Monique. She actually verified that here in this group, 42 spots in her business school in 6 weeks, right? That was from my mid-tier level. So that woman invested 10K and has made at least probably 13 times her money back in 6 weeks. That only works if the person that comes to work with us is committed to applying the process. If you just sit there and do nothing, it's not going to work for you, right? When you have the stuff come up and the shiz that comes up, it's just like you've got to be able to be resilient enough and have the courage to like look at it with love and move through it. Does that make sense? Like, it comes up for all of us at the next level, at the next stage, right? Kim says, in this past year, I've shifted my ascension healing coaching one-on-one from 580 to 1500 a cycle. My email list, which I've not worked with for a long time, are connected to the old price. How can I start to build an email list to a new higher audience? That's a great question. Who was that from? Kim. So Kim has been selling lower ticket, and now she wants to come up with an even higher ticket. And you probably even want to go up higher from a 1500 is really what you say is a downsell, right? Vanessa says, yes, major shifting and downloading. I just do what Ingrid does and watch my life change. Yeah, the people that get really great results, they do what I say, basically. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. So, okay. So in terms of, having a list that's usually old prices, it's going to come down to how you position your offer. So you're going to need to really own and clearly articulate once again what you're doing, and what you can even do an email with why the price hike, like what's that all about? And then you're going to explain to them, because instead of doing like a one-off session or a cheaper program, we're going to be doing this. These are the outcomes. This is the process. This is the support that you get from me. These are the shifts that are happening with the people that are working with me. So I'm actually offering a higher level service, and you get all this sort of support from me. And also, once you start communicating differently with your audience and really owning your power, don't think that they're not going to buy from you. So you really want to let go of any scarcity or any fear around them not responding. See them responding with love. See them responding with heart. See them saying, yes, can I get on a call? I mean, you don't even really need to mention the prices or anything either. Just start really doing engaging content, give lots of yumminess away, speak with power about what you're doing, and invite people to calls, and then go through the price with them there. And explain to them there. But there's nothing, I think it's really great to be transparent with your audience. You've got nothing to hide, right? You've got literally nothing to hide. So I love to get online like this and clearly articulate how we work, why we work it that way, because, oh, it's okay, darling, I'm coming soon. That was Aria playing with the ball, and then Chris just took her away. She's homesick. Sorry, guys. Are you just playing with the ball? Okay, that's okay. Hey everyone, hey. Okay guys, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up because my daughter's now running around with a ball, so you probably won't be able to hear me properly. But really at the end of the day, if you wanna scale, if you wanna make more money, it's absolutely available to you. You just need to do things differently, right? Inviting to free calls. The moment we make a decision to rise your ascension begins. Just tuning in. Hannah, go. Yes, darling. I'm going to come and play. Okay, guys, I hope I've offered value today. Have a beautiful, divine, and holy day. That was brilliant. Bianca says, good. I hope I served you well. Yeah. Oh, I know my earring fell off. Thank you, darling. You can PM me with any questions. You can reach out to Ruthie directly via PM too. If any of you want to see our summary of what we offer, just PM Ruthie and she can send it to you or me, and we'll go from there. And I will see you in this group. And go and own your power, girls. Go and own your power, own your voice, and start calling more clients in. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for watching. Blessings. I'm just looking at the comments. So grateful. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. My pleasure, Emma. Thank you. My fire. Yeah, my fire is a bit dim today with sleep deprivation, but you know what? We made it happen. Okay, guys, a million blessings. Bye.